Uh, wow. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back. And today I'm standing. Standing because I feel like I need to stand today. Today I'm doing a review for 13 Reasons Why Season 3. There are 3 seasons of this. And I just feel like I needed to stand. I feel like I couldn't sit and talk about this. I feel like I want to be more active and stand and talk about this because this is... wow. Now before we get into the review, please like and subscribe and share this because wow, I put myself through this just to make this review, and I'll explain. Now, as this is a review of season 3, I feel like I need to give you some history that I have with 13 Reasons Why as a series first. So back in high school, I had to read this book for a summer project. This book's written, 13 Reasons Why is based off a novel written by J. Asher. So I had to read this book, and I read it, and I really enjoyed the book. And then about 2 years later, they were like, oh, we're making a show about this. And I, just like a lot of people in my school, because we had to read this book for a summer project, we were like, ooh, this seems interesting. So I checked it out. First season, my opinion, just a quick review, was really good. And it's really good because of one thing that the other 2 seasons do not have. It might seem really obvious because it is. I really enjoyed the first season. I cannot stress that enough that I enjoyed the first season. And the only reason I enjoyed the first season is because it is based on the book. Now the first season was based off the book and it finished off the book. And there's only one book. Now, I watched the second season and I was not a huge fan of it. I did not like it. I don't remember a lot of it because it was not very good compared to the first season. You can actually see it by the reviews. Look at these. It's not very good. So I didn't like season 2 at all, and I actually don't remember a lot of it. All I remember is the final and how Tyler almost shot up a school. So now we're way past beyond the books, and now we're on the third season. And wow, it is exhaustingly bad. It's not very good. Now let's talk about what season 3 is all about. Season 3 is based around Bryce Walker. If you don't know who Bryce Walker is, he raped Hannah, and that was kind of the final straw that led her to taking her own life. And he does, I believe, have a tape, but he never gets the tape because after Clay lists him, he passed them on to the police, and blah blah blah, trial happens and whatever. And so this season is based off the fact that Bryce Walker is dead. In season 2, he got away. He went on trial. He's a rich white boy, and he got away with it. And all he got was like probation, and he had to move schools and whatever. So he got away with it. And in season 3, somebody killed him. He's dead. What is happening? Who killed him? That's what we're trying to figure out. Let's begin by breaking down why the premise of season 3 is a bad idea. In my opinion, it was a very bad idea to decide that you're going to kill Bryce Walker and you're going to try to make the audience care about him and his death. And here's why. In season 1, we listened to the tapes with Clay. We saw where Hannah was coming from. We understood her pain. And we understood what went wrong, and we hated the people that did her wrong, especially Bryce Walker, because of what he did to her. Everybody else, in my opinion, they lied about, they said some things behind her back, but Bryce Walker did something really horrible. He sexually assaulted her, and we hated him. But this season, what the writers decided to do is we're gonna try to make the audience understand that Bryce is a human, humanize him. We're gonna try to do that, and then we're gonna try to make them care about his death. And in my opinion, that completely craps all over Hannah's grave and Hannah's story, because Hannah killed herself because of what Bryce did to her. And so it's kind of extremely weird that the writers decided to do this, decided to make him the vocal point of the story. It's ridiculous in my opinion. At the end of season 2, when Bryce got away with it, he walked out with a grin on his face. He was just kind of like a slick, like happy that he got away with it. He's a douchebag. He's not a good person. We're not supposed to like him. But the way this season treats him is that it's like, oh no, Bryce, no, he was a good guy. Like he was trying to change. He realized his mistakes. Even though at the end of season 2, no, he didn't. He walked out with a smile on his face that he got away with it. Now some other things pertaining to the story. It's all over the place. It is. It really is. I mean, there's 13 episodes. Every episode is an hour long. It's extremely exhausting because it is terrible to watch. There's subplots upon subplots upon subplots happening. Every character has a secret. The whole thing about this show is that people have secrets. Word of the show, word of the day, word of the year, secrets. That is the best thing they can come up with when writing. Every dialogue is that this character is going to say secrets. Now check this out. I wrote down here a list of all the subplots that happen in this season and how exhausting it is to keep up with everything and how much of just everything there is in this season. So, first up, we have Bryce in his new school. Bryce goes to a different school. Everybody knows his history. He gets bullied. It's not fun. Bryce and Annie. Actually, yeah, let's just get Annie, listen, terrible, awful character. She's the brand new character. Her name is Annie. Starts off with her, she's in an interrogation room, she's talking, she's giving her statement. She is the brand new character. She is the narrator of this, and it is awful. It is not good at all. Her character is annoying. I saw on social media, everybody agrees that her character is just plain annoying. She's everywhere. She knows she's the new girl that came, I guess, after the trial, arrived just after the trial, and she knows everything because people somehow tell her everything because she's in everybody's business. She pops up out of nowhere like, oh hey. I mean, I can't do it. She has a British accent. Can't do a British accent. So she's like, oh hey, like, what's happening? What's that? What are you guys talking about? And people just tell her things. She's annoying. She's extremely annoying. She and Clay actually walk around like detectives the whole time because they're trying to figure out who did it, who did the murder. So they legit walk around like detectives all the time. You're like, oh, where were you last night? Why are you lying to us? Huh? Why are you lying to us? This is the most unrealistic high school like ever. This guy, he's not a junior in high school. They're all juniors in high school this year. He's not. Look at him. In season 1, it was acceptable because it was for one season, and you can definitely see now that the actors have matured and aged. They're in their early 20s, I think. They're still growing. They're still aging, right? So you can definitely see that they are way ahead of this. And so in season 1, it was fine. It was a bit unrealistic, but you can deal with it. At this point, it's just extremely unbelievable that any of these people are in high school. It is an unrealistic high school. So, let's get back to the subplots here list. Sorry. So the second subplot that I have is Bryce and Annie. They have a relationship. We'll get to that in a second. Bryce and his mom. He tries to deal with the relationship with his mom because his mom kind of hates him. Bryce and his dad. His dad actually hates him and left him. Bryce and everybody else. Bryce moves schools at the end of season 2, but he somehow in those months manages to run into everybody and have a huge impact on everybody's lives. He just throws money at everybody. Justin and Jessica. Wow. Jessica's whole like character arc this season was just her running after Justin and being like, oh, I'm in love with Justin. I'm in love with Justin. Literally, that's all she's been left to do is just the Justin thing. And he's basically the same thing. He has one more thing for him. Jessica and Alex. Alex, all he has is running around after Jessica, being like, oh, I love Jessica. Everything that he does is for her, and that is true. Jessica might have something else with her, but for Alex, that's pretty much it. Justin and his drug problem. He still has a drug problem, just like in season 2. Doesn't really get solved at the end of the season. Alex on steroids. Jessica and her new club. Wow. Get to that in a second. Jessica is running like an activism club at her school. It's ridiculous. Tyler and his almost shooting up the school secret. Yeah, I remember in season 2 he almost became a school shooter, but they all saved him unrealistically. They all somehow, these high school kids, managed to hide a school shooter and all the guns from the police. It's ridiculous. Clay and Annie. Clay has a crush on Annie. Don't know why. She's, like I said, super annoying, but he does. Tyler's character development. It's just awful, really. And here's where I kind of just lost it for a second, because, wow. First of all, don't think we ever met Tony's family. We might have. Don't remember, right? But there's nothing much there to make us care about his family. And so now his family gets deported, and literally this is how I think it went in the writing room. So, yeah, every character seems to have something bad happen to them, and what are we gonna have to do with Tony here? Oh well, Tony's a Hispanic character, right? Yeah, according to his chart, it does look like he is pretty much the only Hispanic character on the show. Yeah, let's just have like a storyline where his family gets deported for like no reason. Oh, how did I not think about that? Of course, it writes itself. Now I understand that stuff like this happens in real life, and it's something that a lot of families unfortunately have to go through. But in this show, it comes out of nowhere, and it takes like an episode. A lot of these subplots kind of happen in one segment of like an episode, and then we revisit them just a little bit, but you can see that they're not very important. They lie about the smallest things just to draw it all out, just so the character that asks them about something has to go all the way around, investigate, just to come back to them and be like, hey, you lied to me. And they're like, oh yeah, here's the truth. And then that truth just like clears them of being innocent anyway. So it's like, no point. Just don't lie. These actors are capable of putting in good performances. We saw in season 1. But wow, the writing just has exponentially plummeted down, and the lines that they have to deliver are ridiculous. They're cringeworthy. God! The homecoming game, Jessica's activism group get on the field and they protest. The way they do this protest is they undress and they yell a chant about sexual assault. Which at that point I was just dying laughing, because I was like, I have absolutely no idea what's happening here. It's again, here's an example of how they probably wrote this. Okay, so we're thinking that Jessica and her activism group are gonna go to this homecoming game and they're gonna get on the field and they're gonna protest. Oh, so you mean like they're gonna get on the field with banners and signs and they're gonna make them cancel the game because of their protest? Like, it's gonna be legit, it's gonna be powerful, it's gonna have a message to it. Yeah, I was thinking that they could get on the field and all strip, and then for the football players could come and sexually assault them, and then a big brawl starts. So wait, let me get this straight. You're telling me that these high school characters are gonna get on the field in front of the whole school, and as their protest, they're gonna strip Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, basically what I wrote here. Listen, this whole season completely craps on the first season's message and completely craps on Hannah by trying to make us care for Bryce, Hannah's rapist, and by making these activists, these people who are trying to do good, annoying people, and they paint this fake image of Bryce, and to me it doesn't connect at all with the type of character was set up through the first two seasons. In my opinion, just one more thing, in my opinion was that in the first two seasons he was set up as this character who in public, was the face of the school, and in public, he would take care of people and be nice, but when shit gets private, he's not good. He's not a good human being. But in this season, for some reason, it hits him and he's trying to change or whatever, and we're supposed to care about that, but for me, it never lands. And at the end of the day, just looking at a character like Tyler real quick, by the way, I only liked about 2 scenes from the show. First scene was when they all find out that Bryce is dead, and Justin is talking to Clay and he's telling me, dude, you don't know because you never knew him as like a kid, you didn't grow up with him. That made me think that Bryce is an awful human being now, but Justin knew him since he was a kid, and maybe he has those memories, and that's why he cares. I still don't care. That's why he cares, and he's like, he was a human being, and I care, but you don't understand. And I was like, okay, I see where he's coming from. And then another scene that got me was when Tyler had to explain to Trey this thing that happened between him and Monty. By the way, whoever came up to write that happened in a high school, wow, it's ridiculous. But because it already happened, he has to describe it. And again, like I said, these actors are capable, and I thought the 2 actors that had to act out those scenes did a good job. Alex kills him. Alex was missing throughout the whole season, pretty much. He popped up here and there, did some steroids, told Jessica he loves her 20 times, and then at the end of the day, he kills him, and he gets away with it. What is the actual story here? And I don't know how all these teens just lie and lie and lie. Isn't it like a crime to lie, during an interrogation or something? I don't know. But they all lie and somehow get away with it. This show is just dramatic and over the top and doesn't take itself seriously anymore. As I think the first season dealt with some serious issues. It wasn't too over the top about it. It dealt with bullying and teen suicide and how both those things can be connected to whatever this is. Sure, they're trying to touch upon serious things, but that doesn't make it good. You have to do it correctly, and this show just, in my opinion, doesn't do it. And at the end of the day, I hated this season. Wow, somebody turned on the air conditioner. I hated this season. It was exhausting to watch. It was 13 hours. Every episode was an hour long. Why? It was drawn out. It was terrible. But I sat through it because I really wanted to make this review. So, to support me and support all the struggle that I've been through, if you can hit the subscribe button and like this, I'd really appreciate it because I put myself through that for this. So, yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you. See you guys later.